In this module, I would like to talk about dedicated hosts and also scheduled one. I'm in the console. I'll go to the compute part and EC2. And on the left side, we already talk about on-demand instances. We talk about spot requests also, and we also talk about reserved instances. Now you are somehow familiar with these terms. Now, if you take a look on the left side, we have also dedicated hosts. And I think you can guess from the name, it means that we can have a dedicated physical machine inside the AWS data centers, and we can spin up EC2 on top of these physical machines. So it's pretty easy. We can just go and select allocate a host, but make sure that you understand if you proceed with these steps, you'll get charged on your credit card because you are actually allocating a physical host. First thing that we are going to choose is we are saying which kind of EC2 instances we want to run on the top of this hardware, and there are some settings here. You can select the availability zones, and you can select the target and untargeted instances that you want to put on this physical box, and the quantity, which technically is the number of dedicated hosts you'd like to purchase. I'm just going to buy one physical host to see how it works, and I'm going to put a tag on it and put the name and as the ITrepo. There are also some AWS command line interfaces that you can see what kind of command you can run. We'll talk about AWS CL later, but anyway, I'm going to select it and select on allocate host. As you can see, we're getting an error after trying to allocate a dedicated host, and that's why, because it's a physical machine, right? This is going to be a physical box, and technically we have to talk to AWS and we have to ask them to create this server for us and build it and make it ready for us. So that's why you need to go to this URL, which is the EC2 request. I already opened this one here. This is going to be look like a ticket that we want to request a physical and dedicated server, and you can see by default the service limit increases select, and you need to select the case classification. I'm going to scroll down to EC2 dedicated hosts, and then you can request the number of the hosts you want. You can select the region that you want to put your dedicated host there, and also the type of the family you want to choose, if there is any limits, any limit menu, and any descriptions here. And then you can say how AWS want to contact you. You're just going to select one of these ones and click submit. In this case, basically you're requesting a new dedicated server. So this is requesting a dedicated server. If I go back to the console, another option that we have related to EC2 dashboard on the left side, the other one that it could be useful is scheduled instances. If you are already familiar with the reserve instances, this is exactly like the reserve instances. Even we have this option here. It says prefer to reserve capacity on a continuous 24/7 basis. If you click on this one, you will go to, guess what, reserve instances. So scheduled instance is exactly same as reserve instance, but the difference is that in reserve instance we are buying the EC2 instance for 1 year or 3 years. But in this one, you can basically tell AWS that you want to have the EC2 instance for a period amount of time. For example, here in the starting on, you can select the date that you want to start, and then you can adjust the time. Also, you can say if you want it daily, weekly, or monthly, and you can select the duration of the time. You can select your instance, and then you can just search for any schedules that are available, and technically you can just add them to cart, review, and purchase them. Then this is going to be a new contract for you, but it's not 24/7. It's just 4 hours, let's say, duration, and there are some terms for it, and you can use it, for example, daily on Sundays, and these are the details. So same things at the reserve instance, but the time, actually it's in a scheduled one, and the time is different.